I have been a huge fan of Pretty Little Liars since season one. I own all the boxes, all the seasons, season one through season four, and I'm currently watching season five. A friend of mine got me a Pretty Little Liars DVD. I guess he didn't know I had all the seasons, well, the previous seasons. But he told me that this episode, this DVD, was the most rarest of them all. It was titled Pretty Little Liars, the lost episode, The Grave. He said that he bought it from a woman that lived across the street from me. I didn't mind. I was just too excited to watch the lost episode, so I took the DVD from my friend and ran back home. Popped it into my DVD player, ate a bucket of popcorn, and started watching the episode. But right away, this episode felt strange. Stranger than usual. It opens with the four girls looking at the grave. Aria, Spencer, Emily, and Hannah. They were just looking at the grave. I just felt kind of odd. Whose grave is that? Well, I guess because it was a lost episode, it could have been Allison's grave. So I didn't pay any attention. The title sequence came up, and it felt even more stranger. Because of the fact that the woman that was in the casket was brunette, not blonde. And what made this even more weird, towards the end, where it was supposed to be Aria telling everyone to shush, it went to Spencer telling everyone to shush. And the title sequence went from the normal color that you usually see in Pretty Little Liars to a bloody red. So, again, I thought that this was just an unaired episode of Pretty Little Liars of a Halloween special that we were supposed to get, but instead we had the other one. So I didn't pay any attention. The episode starts with the girls still looking at the grave. For only a minute, they were just looking at that grave, and then it went directly to Hannah's house. And it walked around all over Hannah's house until it went to the living room where Ashley was sitting. She was sitting there just watching TV, which was off. And there was no music. There was nobody there but Ashley. The camera zoomed out of Ashley. Well, zoomed around her. I'm sorry for messing up. And what I saw freaked me out. Her eyes were missing. Out of their sockets, her eyes were missing. Her blood was dripping out of her eyes socket into the floor. And it was just blood. I'm thinking in my mind, what kind of Pretty Little Liar episode is this? What's the storyline? And then it went to a wall. A wall just appeared with some writing saying, "Help me." I freaked out a little bit, but I continued watching the episode. It edited to Toby and Caleb at Toby's apartment. But what made this weird is that Caleb was talking like a dialect. He wasn't saying exterminate, he was just talking like a dialect to Caleb. And then it transitioned to the four girls looking at the grave, and then transitioned back to Caleb's apartment, and both bodies were dismembered. Their body parts were all over the living room, the kitchen, their house. And Toby's head was on top of the TV screen. And then the same wall appeared. And it said a name. Jason Hall. I don't know who Jason Hall is. Is he a new character in the PLL universe that they're introducing in this episode that was killed off later on? I got confused. And then it transitioned to a swimming pool. I thought that, okay, it's going to be a flashback with Emily and Paige at the swimming pool. But no. It was Melissa, Jenna, Paige, Maya, which is weird because Maya died in the end of season 2, and what made this even more weirder is that Ian was there too, and he died during season 1. Wilden, Ren, and all these other characters, they were just sitting there. They were just sitting in a swimming pool full of water. Then, out of nowhere, I don't know where she came from, but Spencer's mother runs in there with her father, with her husband, I mean to say, and they were holding an electrical wire, dived into the water, and they all got electrocuted. There were blood and dismemberment everywhere. The same wall appeared. It said a woman's name. It said Jacqueline Sear. I don't know who Jacqueline Sear is. Then it transitioned back to the 4 girls looking at that grave. And this time it was just the 4 girls looking at the grave for the whole entire episode. Towards the end, the girls turn around and they look like corpses. I don't mean like zombie corpses, but they look like freshly made corpses. They turn around, looked at me through the screen and said, "Help me." I freaked out. I took out the DVD and threw it out the window. That night, I had a feeling that that episode was trying to tell me something. I had this uncontrollable urge to call 911. And I did. I called 911 and I said that for some strange reason, a woman named Jacqueline Sears was killed by Jason Hall, I think his name was. And I think that he lived right across the street from me. I had that feeling that that was the woman that lived across the street from me, that my friend bought the DVD from. So, the next day, I turned on the television set, turned on the news, and they said that Jason Hall was arrested for murder for killing Jacqueline Sear. I ran right outside, found the DVD, and popped it in, trying to see if the episode that I saw was really there. It was a blank. 2 minutes later, Jessie Sear appeared on the disc, on my television, saying, "Thank you." Ever since then, I never saw that episode again. I've done research on that Pretty Little Liars lost episode, The Grave. And I just found out that no episode actually existed. ABC Family, Warner Brothers, or even the creator of Pretty Little Liars said that that episode never existed. What did I just saw?